The 33rd edition of the Great American Race began with Davey Allison on the pole and Dale Earnhardt right behind him. Everyone knew it wouldn't be long before the Intimidator made his presence felt.
Passing already starting, going into turn 3. There's Earnhardt moving up on Ernie Irvan. He isn't going to waste much time, Ken, trying to go to the front.
That's what we may see all day. That car runs on a rail on the bottom of the racetrack.
Then something odd happened.
We may be able to see what happened to Earnhardt out here.
Yeah, you can see right there. The bird flew right into the left corner of his Chevrolet. I don't believe, Ken, that there's enough covered the air intake area that it would affect it too much.
When Sammy Swindell spun out, caution ensued, but a rule change kept everyone on the track. The cars couldn't pit until the pace car came out, and no tire changes were allowed under yellow. Penalties ranging from a 15-second stop to a 1-lap penalty would be assessed. These were safety measures, to be sure, but time-tested strategies were disrupted, and in some cases, confusion resulted. Davey Allison was back in front when trouble erupted again.
And there's trouble over in turn 2.
2 cars in the wall. That is Rick Wilson in the number 8 car, and right behind him, the man who won the 400 here back in '87. Greg Sachs, and a little fire coming out from beneath Rick Wilson's car as they kept them up in the wall.
Next, Jimmy Spencer's car caught fire, and Swindell, Jeff Purvis, Jimmy Means, and Phil Barkdahl got caught up in the smoke and oil. Barkdahl was the only one of the group to finish the race, but not without further drama later.
5 cars in trouble out of turn number 4.
Spencer is out of his car. You can see him, he jumped out on the grass.
The new rules did allow body repairs under yellow, and Earnhardt's crew was still trying to repair the damage caused by the unfortunate seagull. Just after the restart, Phil Barkdahl's interesting afternoon continued.
It's Barkdahl, out of control, looping down into the grass. Let's hope he doesn't get back up on the racetrack. Getting through his gate. Strickland, Schrader, and the rest of the field gets on the binders.
Kyle Petty, pitting under green, took 2 new tires, then just took off.
I think that he'll be able to pass Earnhardt, then if a caution comes out, he's right back in the thick of this thing.
Around Allison for 3rd, closing on 2nd place, Joe Ruttman in the number 75.
So, of course, minutes later, everyone had to slow down again.
Whoa! Trouble for just one car spinning directly in front of Earnhardt and Strickland. Strickland once, twice, 3 times around. Starting to come back up on the track. He's trying to hold it down. Kowicki gets through. As does Sterling Marlin and the rest of the field.
After the restart, the pole sitter took over again, dueling with Joe Ruttman for about 90 seconds. Then another incident, another caution.
Whoa, and there's a trouble. Turn 4. That is Bodine in trouble. They came down through. I think someone was thinking about ducking in as they came out of that turn. Luckily for Jeff Bodine, this is a blue pit stop lap, and so he can legitimately stop now and change the tire.
This gave Dale Earnhardt's crew another chance to work on some aerodynamic issues. Owner Richard Childress even had his hand in it, literally. Amazing, to this point in the race, Earnhardt hadn't changed tires at all. Finally, 106 laps in, it was time for new rubber.
It will be a 4-tire change, and this crew has long been the best of the business. Kurt Shelmerdine on that right front as David Smith jacks the car. Hank Jones carrying tires around to the right side. Scott Kluka is already loosening up the left side lug nuts. They'll be off by the time Smith gets the jack around and that side of the car up. Right sides are done. Cecil Gordon rolls the left front tire up. Shelmerdine plants it, hits the 5 lug nuts. Down goes the car, and Earnhardt's away. Quick 4-tire stop.
Kyle Petty pitted, but had problems getting out. Low gear was gone, and his car stumbled until it gained enough speed for the higher gears. The lead went to Joe Ruttman, but he came in a lap later, and suddenly Ernie Irvan, who had started 4th in the number 4 Chevrolet, was the front runner. When Irvan came in for rubber all around, 1989 champion Darrell Waltrip took over, but he stalled too. That left Kyle Petty and the remnants of his transmission in the lead. Earnhardt was coming up fast, and that bird damage was no longer an issue. Kyle still had to pit and still couldn't accelerate. Ken Schrader gave him a little assist, but Ernie Irvan slipped into the lead.
Well, that did cost him a lot.
Critical pit stop for Kyle Petty. Ken Schrader looks like he's trying to help him. Schrader pushing him along.
Pushing him out, yeah. Trying to get that speed up.
Richard Petty was mid-pack when Robbie Gordon ruined the rest of his day. The King was the only driver who had started every Daytona 500, but his career was in twilight. The next year would be his last as a driver. With the restart, Rusty Wallace emerged as the leader for a few seconds.
Here comes the man in black, Earnhardt to the inside, trying to win the race he's never won. 48 Winston Cup victories, but the Daytona 500's elude him. He's won everything else here. The 400 in July. Whoa, and on the wall. Wallace slams the wall on the outside. Another car breaking loose. Derek Cope spinning to the line. And Darrell Waltrip in the pits.
Darrell Waltrip.
Oh, Derek Cope. 4 more cars right here at the start finish line. Oh, blowing tires. Caution is out.
At the restart, it was Dale Earnhardt in front again. His 13th start might turn out to be his lucky one, but Ernie Irvan had other ideas.
Look at this run down the inside. Car number 4 sliding through, and Ernie Irvan flanks it in there.
Davey Allison took him through, helped him get through there. And now Davey Allison's running right behind Dale Earnhardt. And behind him is Troy Ruttman.
Like that, Joe Ruttman.
I keep calling him Troy Ruttman.
Well, Troy was a race driver. He won the Indianapolis 500.
Davey Allison up on the outside. Davey Allison makes a run on Earnhardt for second place. The Ford on the high side, Chevy on the inside, and Chevy out in front.
Long way to go around now.
As they come back to the line, this time, Ernie Irvan. Is this going to be an upset? We'll see. 28 and 3 are locked up side by side, and as they run wheel to wheel, Ernie Irvan says, "Goodbye, gang," and pulls 3 car lengths out in front.
Well, Dale Earnhardt's got tires that are fresher than Ernie Irvan's too. He pitted more recently than Ernie, about 25 laps less mileage on his tires, so in theory he should be slightly better off.
Yeah, I think something wrong with Earnhardt's car, that maybe has a tire going down or something. It just doesn't look as smooth in the turns. He and Davey Allison touch going down the backstretch into turn 3. Earnhardt trying to hang on, but I don't know, that car just not working in the turns like it did earlier.
Then, with 3 laps to go,
and there's trouble off the turn 2.
Ernie Irvan in front, and Earnhardt
Davey Allison. Davey Allison and Dale Earnhardt and Davey Allison both out of this race.
Ernie Irvan racing back to the line with a big advantage. There's Davey Allison's car coming to a stop.
it ended under caution, but there was one final twist to Ernie Irvan's 1991 Daytona 500 win.
I just kept waiting for them guys to run me down, and when we had to just, live off the caution. Then we come around and it started running out of gas on the caution. I said, no, this can't happen to me. Got down on the apron and it kept running.